Hello and welcome to the Clik Cert software overview. So in this overview we're going to look at how you can create certs, how you can complete certs and how you can apply numbers to the certs. We'll also look at how you can print them, and we'll also look at the address book tab and how you can create reminders and how you can create templates. So let's begin with creating a certificate. So to create a certificate we just click on the Create Certificate button. You'll notice there's a number of certificates you can create. And you'll also notice that you can create favourites as well. So at the top I've already done one called the Landlord Gas Safety Certificate. However, if I want to also put another favourite on that favourites list, all I need to do is click on a star and it will populate at the top. You'll also notice there's a little 0 here, and that just means remaining numbers. You don't need to worry about that because these numbers are free anyway and it can be your numbering. What we're going to do is we're going to click on Landlord Gas Safety Certificate, and then we're going to start filling it in. So as you can see, there's the first bit where you've got registered business details, and you'll notice there's little magnifying glasses on some bits of this form. What that means is if you click on them, you can select the engineer that's going to be doing this particular safety certificate. So in this case, we're going to click on James Dunn, and that's going to fill in the details of James Dunn. Now you can also click on the magnifying glass if you need to change the registered business details and find a different particular address. You could do that if you wanted to, but it's all filled in and pre-filled in for you. Now next, the address that you're going to be doing the certificate on. So let's just click on the magnifying glass again, and we could find a particular company that we already use, or we can click on the plus sign and then we can actually add a new company, add a new address, or we can copy this existing address and paste it somewhere else. And again, you might do it for the owner landlord. You click on the magnifying glass, and then you can select that landlord if you want. But you can also click on the plus sign, you can add new company, add new address, or copy existing address. Okay, so after that, really it's just filling in some of the details of the form. So for example, we've got a little tick box here, and we can just click ticks. And if you've got number of appliances tested, it's just text box, so you can put in the number of appliances you've tested. And now you've got your appliance details. So here is a grid format, and all you need to do is click on the plus sign for the appliances that you're testing. And you can either select equipment that is already on your sites that you've pre-populated, or you can add a new equipment to the site, or it could just be a blank row to the cert. In this case, we're going to add a new equipment to the site, and we'll just populate that in there. So let's just do that with the description. We'll just sort of boiler, type, you can put in gas, make, we can put in Worcester, and you can put in the serial number, you can put in the model, and you can put a reference number as well. And finally, but not least, the location. Once you're happy with that, you just click on save. That will be saved under now that address as well, but it will also be in here as an appliance for your landlord gas safety certificate. Now it's just a case of going through the rest of those columns and filling in the results that you need to. So landlord, yes or no, yes. Inspected, yes. Flew, off. And you can just carry on going down the form and start filling in the details. So inspection details, you can start putting in text boxes in some of these, and you can also, you've got your drop downs and you start filling it in. If we go down a little bit further, you'll notice you've got your defects identified and action taken. Again, they're just text boxes that you can put in, and you just type as much as you like in, and you've also got work carried out as well. So if we go further, there are some more boxes. So for example, there's these checks in here. And in these boxes, you can either just click on them and they'll cycle through the options that you can select, or you can right click and you can select it this way as well. Now let's go further. So we're going to go down to engineer signature. So we have a signature FAQ KB, so you'll be able to see it in there, how you create signatures. But we can also click on the three dots and you can select a signature if you've already created one, or you can click on the three dots and you can actually capture a signature as well. Once you're happy with that, you just press OK and it will put the date in. And it's the same with the responsible person signature too. So once you're happy with that certificate, it really is as simple as clicking on Save at the top here and then potentially clicking Complete. However, there are a few more things I'd like to go through. So in the top left-hand side, you'll see page 1. So there could be potentially more pages, and that's how you go to more pages, or you can use the left and right buttons to go back and forward between pages. You can also click on the plus sign to zoom in and out of your certificate. And you can go to Tools and you can NA all blank fields. So if there are blank fields in there, if you click on that, you'll notice in a second that those blank fields have become NA. What you can also do is create a template as well. So this is a certificate that you might use again and again, and it's very similar. You can click on Create Template. You can give it a category by saying maybe boiler, and then template name, typical boiler. That sort of thing. You could do that if you wanted to. Press OK, and then you could use that template again for a landlord gas safety certificate. So once you're really happy with it and you're fine, you want to complete it and you want to give it to a customer, you can firstly go to Tools and you can apply a cert number to it. So if you apply a cert number to it, it will populate and find the latest number. Remember, you can create your own numbering system. You can do that within the settings by going to Edit and Settings and Certificates. Right, okay, so now we're going to complete it by clicking the Complete button. I'm going to say yes. And that has completed your certificate. Now what you can do with that, you can print it straight away by clicking on Print in the top right hand side, and that will bring a print preview. So here we go, here's a print preview of what that looks like. And all you need to do is click on the print icon to print it. You can also click on the Save as PDF icon, which is the PDF icon here, if you wanted to save it as a PDF. And that's really it for creating a certificate and completing a certificate. So I'm now going to close that down. I'm going to show you some other things that you can do as well. So it's potential that you might just create a certificate ready for one of your engineers to have for the Clik the Clik Cert software application. And to do that, you can just click on right click and you can go to Send To, and you can send it to one of your engineers. That will disappear from what we call your local certs list. And if you click on your local certs, you'll also see sent certs, so you'll be able to see the certificates that you've sent to your engineers. And you'll also be able to see any received certs that you've received as well. And that's coming back from your engineers. Now to do that, your sync will be running probably every 60 minutes, but if you do need to do a sync, you can click on the sync in the top right hand side, and that will begin a cloud synchronization to sync those certificates to your engineers. Okay, so once that's done, there's some other things you can do in the certificate list as well. So if it's completed, you might right click and you'd be able to enter it in again, or you can right click and you'll be able to email as a PDF or a zip. So you've got a quick way of emailing it. And again, you can save as PDF or zip, and you can also print it. But also you can void certificates. If you like, you can delete them. That's kind of how you would delete them in this software, is you would mark them as void. But you can also create a template of that particular certificate as well. Okay, so that really is the certificate list, but there are a few other things that might help you in terms of filtering all the certificates when you have a lot of them. So for example, you'll see here there is a filter list, and you can filter between different date ranges, if they're used or not used certificates, all the type certificates that you want to show, and if they're completed or uncompleted, or if you want to show voids or showed verified, you just click on apply and that will show you those certificates in this field. You will also notice there is little pins on these columns, and you can click on these pins and you'll be able to select, for example, a customer's particular certificates. So that is something that you can do from here. Okay, so let's just have a little look at the address book. So the address book is where all your customers will be. Now, all your customers will also have site addresses potentially, and you'll notice those site addresses will have equipment attached to them as well. So as you can see here, there is that boiler that we just processed in that particular certificate. You'll also notice there is contacts, and you can add a contact by clicking on Add Contact on the right hand side over here. And there's also documents as well, where you can put in certain documents or contracts for that particular customer if you need to. Now you'll notice you can also create reminders as well, so you can click on Create Reminder. And you can create a reminder to maybe do a certificate renewal for that customer, or maybe even if it's a call, maintenance or service call, you'll be able to do that, and James Dunn would get that particular reminder. You can also click on users and add more users to get that reminder as well by just clicking add users. You've also got certificates, and that will show you certificates that you want them to be reminded about. So you just add the certificates that this reminder will be associated with. Okay, once you're happy with that, just click OK and that reminder will be in place. You'll be able to see all your reminders in the Reminders tab in here, and you'll also again be able to create a reminder at this point as well by clicking on Create Reminder. Templates, you'll be able to see your templates, and if you want to create a cert with this particular template, all you do is highlight it, click Create Cert, and that's it. You can see that it's already filled in everything you've done on that particular template, which is brilliant. Okay, now the last tab, but not least, is also the support with all the FAQs and KBs that we've done so far. And again, if you do have any problems, please do contact us. But eventually there will be more knowledge-based articles in here for the Clik Cert software. Okay, so that's really it for an overview of the certification software. Thanks very much for listening.